It's your girl, Banks the Bossy.
Yo, it's your boy, Truth City.
My name is Taki Bond.
I'm Cleverly Chloe.
I'm Q Shepherd.
And we are Word of Mouth Radio.
You dickhead, you could have said it.
Skirt.
The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of...
I want a hammock for all of that shade that they're throwing. DDMG getting paid at the moment. Need 30 for saving and 20 for blowing. Yo, pinging my phone, that shit burn flame emoji. I don't know what y'all have been seeing. That boy wanted beef, now he vegan. Well, trust me, this pepper in season. I do this for money, you rap for convenience. And niggas was scared of me going to Texas. But I stayed in Vegas and got all my nets in it. UTA blowing my phone up with Texas. Guess me not replying, they sending a message, it's cool. I'ma lend Cara a Jules. You niggas belly flop, this ain't the pool.
What's up, folks? This is your host, Wise Soul from the Encore Radio Show. I want to thank you guys for locking in to the Abridged Episode 2 or Volume 2 or whatever the hell we're calling this thing now. In any event, on this episode, we are highlighting our interviews with Word of Mouth Radio, the entire team. Shout out to Cleverly Chloe, shout out to Taki Bond, shout out to Q Shepherd. We're highlighting our interview with Truth City, and we're also highlighting our interview with L. Banks, the Bossy. So, not going to hold this up for too long. Check out the interviews. I'm going to cut in about halfway through, give a little recap and whatnot. But yeah, just rock out with us. It's the Encore Radio Show. Quick thoughts on the pulse of the culture here in New York City.
The pulse of the culture in New York City, I would like to say, is very, I'm going to get you before you get me. It is. Like, outside looking in, you know, it seems very colorful. Outside looking in, it seems very colorful, and, you know, people are just, like, so mesmerized by certain things that are happening. You know, certain brands that are popping, like your Painting Poetries or your I Spit NYCs or whatever, which is great. And there are other brands out there that's doing amazing things. But in the underlining, even when it comes down to the artists or whatever, it's just a dog-eat-dog situation. And you have to really have some tough skin for that. So it's interesting.
In comparison to like places like Atlanta or places
I've been there
in Texas,
I did a show there.
Yeah, like in Dallas or in Houston or even out west in Cali, where you see artists more so aligning with each other and really showing support, even if it means having that person stand on your shoulders for a little while. You know, do you feel like we're gonna get to a place where New York understands that we need to do a little more of that?
No, because this is something that I've been speaking to with a lot of people, actually. I hope they do. And that's the whole point of the I Spit NYC thing. I could have just said Lot of Money House Entertainment shows, right? Yeah. But I Spit NYC, I did that on purpose. There's a reason. Even when you see the logo, you see the city line on the logo and such. There's a reason why I did that, because no matter what, there's still a culture that needs to be pushed, which is the NYC culture that people are losing. Yeah. So the way that it's moving, I think that it's where the light is not being shined on New York so much that people are so thirsty to be the first one that it's kind of like, it's kind of ruining it. It's like, let's just do what we're supposed to be doing. We don't need to go this route. So it's interesting, actually.
You know, I told someone, shout out to Chris Copacetic, matter of fact, I told Copacetic, I said, you know, it would be interesting to see, you know, maybe 18 months or so from now, how or where we are as a culture, where we are in New York City, because there's a lot of talent here.
A lot of talent.
There's a lot of talent. Like, I've been to other cities. I you know, I have shout out to the Indie Creative Network. You know, I have access to a lot of different cities and their sounds. And, you know, some of it sounds like New York, some of it doesn't, and then vice versa. Some of our sounds like theirs. We're in a place where a lot of the sounds are blending necessarily, and that's a good thing in my eyes, you know. But when it comes to those artists from those cities rising, you will hear about these artists on the rise, and you hear them on their stations in their cities, whatever, and you won't necessarily hear them here. Thankfully, we have this, I guess you want to call it, we have like our own media, our own underground media.
It's heavy.
Yeah, where we push a lot of these artists.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it's not the same as elsewhere.
Honestly, I think that we just need to be realistic. I think that's hip hop in general. Because I feel like calling yourself a rapper now is like introducing yourself.
Okay.
Everyone is kind of like a rapper now, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And under the I Spend NYC brand, we probably, I want to say, worked with about 1,000 or more artists.
Wow.
Definitely. As far as interviewing them, as far as ciphers, as far as shows or whatever the situation might be. That's not even the point. The point is that I see that it's a trend thing to be a rapper. And it's like, that's not really what you want to do. Then I see certain people who actually care about the craft and they're not getting that much love. It's the most weirdest thing in the world. It's like, if you're popular enough and you have like a super dope trap beat, you're able to bring out a crowd. Boom, you're a rapper now. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
No, hell no. What is this? It's weird. Seriously.
You gotta love New York. You gotta love New York. You know,
of course.
I find that right now. You know, I do listen to a lot of indie artists. I do listen to a lot of New York artists. You know, a lot of them are featured on Encore Radio Show.
Good.
Dot. Let's just go with that. Just dot.
It's I have a lot of opinions on what should be done, but who am I, right? I just think that we need to definitely have some kind of alliance first and foremost. And just, I see a lot of artists saying, well, I'm not really trying to put New York on, though. I'm just trying to put myself on. And with that mentality, you already lost.
Yeah.
You already lost. Because you're not even taking pride of your city anymore. You're just like, F that. I'm just trying to do me. And it's just like, oh, gosh. You know, but I want to see it do better.
Me too.
We're all very aware there's a lot of disconnect in the new underground New York scene, or just the New York scene in general. So I would love to see it do better.
All right. So I'm put you on a little bit on the spot here for a second.
Sure.
Can you give me 3 artists that you listen to on a regular basis that are from New York?
Besides my own artists?
Yes.
Okay. Besides YSA and King Karma, let's see. I definitely like IOD. I really like IOD, actually. He's dope. I like Mad Wiz.
Okay.
I love Mad Wiz. I'm trying to think, because there's a lot of people I listen to, but you're only giving me 3. So this is not my tops or my bottoms or whatever, guys.
They're gonna get mad.
So don't get upset. This is just me thinking very quickly. I like I also like Controverse.
Okay.
Controverse is dope. He's definitely gonna change the scene. He's super cool. I like him.
Wavy. All right. Now I always like to ask that because New York is a big city. You know, you can know only but so many artists. So I'm gonna go and look for those artists and find them, and try and get them on the show and make sure we push.
I could connect you with all 3 of them.
Definitely, just try and push them all as much as we possibly can. There's I haven't sat down and spoke to 1,000 artists. I probably did like 100 and change.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. You're right.
Let's be serious.
It is a lot.
That's a lot.
But that's what I want to show. Like, there's so much talent here that like
that's a lot.
You've seen 1,000 artists.
Definitely.
1,000.
Definitely. And the thing is, I lost track. It's just me going back to videos or people hitting me up talking about, yo, Banks, I'm proud of you with the I Spend NYC thing. Don't you remember when I did your show? And I legit don't remember. And it's just like, damn, we've really been working with a lot of people. So
that's crazy.
It's insane, actually.
That's what's up. All right, so you had a morning radio show.
Yeah, and it did amazing.
All right, so explain to me how you had a morning radio show.
Basically, Kiara, she was supposed to be with us today, but she wasn't able to make it. But Kiara was actually the assistant of someone at Extreme.
Okay.
And they offered her a show. We were thinking about different concepts, and she was just like, yo, let's do something called Let's Struggle AM, and I want you to be host. And I was like, me?
Yeah.
I guess because I talk shit all the time. And it did well. People loved listening to it. People called in. I wasn't expecting it to do that well.
Yeah.
But it did great, so that's good.
I mean, because I remember seeing it, and I was like, damn, like how they doing a morning show. But then I thought, I was like, yo, that's so innovative, because there aren't too many indie morning shows right now.
No, because everyone's listening to your typical morning. There's one morning show everyone listens to, which is the Breakfast Club, which I love.
Yep.
I love the Breakfast Club. I think they're freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
But you know, I got stuff to say too. So
that's what's up. Hey, so podcasts are blowing up right now. You're obviously on a podcast right now as well.
Yeah.
We gonna see a podcast soon from you?
Definitely. That's something that we're working on, because it just makes sense. And on top of that, with the timing, my timing is becoming very, very, very condensed.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I could be loyal to a radio station, and I don't want to be a douchebag and be like, oh, I can't make it today. They're like, oh, she's a bitch. Yeah. I don't need all of that.
Yeah,
so I could do like 10 interviews in one day, and we could let it out whatever the heck we want to let it out.
Exactly.
So you would definitely see a podcast, and actually we are bringing back some of our interview platforms as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so I got some of these questions out now. Now we can get into the more juicy stuff.
Yeah, you like juicy.
Let's talk about the road travels. Everyone has like a path to hip hop, and everyone has a path to entrepreneurship. So talk to me about some of the tougher times that you've had to deal with along this hip hop entrepreneurial path.
Having people listen to me, that's one, because nobody wants to hear you at all. In the beginning, at least, that was an issue. Being a female, I feel like, is always going to play a part, because hip hop is a man world, really. I don't really sit down and have meetings with women. I don't really sit down and have interviews with women, which is very interesting. I don't really see them that much. Being a woman, I think is the one, because a lot of people, if you pay attention to the Instagram with the I Spend YC brand, no one really knows who's behind it. They just know it's something lit. It's like, we're just gonna be involved. Yeah. But when they come to a show and they're asking questions, they're like, oh, can I speak to the owner of I Spend YC? And I'm just like, hey. And they're like, what? I thought it was a guy. I guess. Or when they will call me, because I put my emails in the I put my number on the emails. I'm like, oh, hello. They're like, oh, this a girl? I'm like, why in your mind you didn't see any pictures or anything, but you automatically in your mind you think it's a guy that owns it. So it's a weird situation with that.
All right, so I had these questions kind of like back in the back end of the interview, but I'm gonna kind of just kick them forward real quick.
Sure.
So first, let's go back to what you said about not seeing that many women in hip hop, right? I see that as a problem.
I do too.
Now, I'm not gonna say that I don't see women in hip hop. I do see a lot. Well, I won't say a lot.
Yeah, I don't.
I do see a number. It is not a big number, but it is definitely a number. I don't want to call it small, but there definitely is a number of women in hip hop. And maybe that's just me, because like I have a problem working with men. I don't really like to work with men that often. But at the same time, you know, I am aware that there could be so much more women in hip hop, right? What do you think is the underlying issues to why women don't have more prevalent positions in the hip hop industry?
Because women are supposed to be sex figures. It's simple, right? When you go to an office or you're looking to get signed, you're not looking to get signed by a female. You're looking to get signed by a dude, and whoever is being signed is either a guy or a female who they're gonna sex up, prop up, and sell sex. Sex sells, and it's a fact. So when you think of women, automatically you think sex. You don't think even sex with women is pitched to men and it's pitched to women.
It is. It
so
definitely is.
It's like, if you're thinking about sex, automatically you're thinking, I'm going to use a woman to do that. So that's really what it is. It's like you're supposed to be in front of the camera.
I mean, even in the indie scene, where, you know, we're the forefront. Where like there's no at least definitely when you're starting out, there isn't a massive machine behind you trying to craft this image for people to sell.
Sure.
It's just you're selling yourself. So why is it that even in this industry that we don't see more women?
Because I think the indie industry is a reflection of the majors. If you don't see it, you don't believe it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's what I think, at least. If I don't get to see a female label owner or a female this or female that, I don't think that's an option for me. But I could see a female rapper, so I'm gonna just go that route, and I'm gonna try to wear tight clothes in order to make sure guys are listening.
Okay, I understand. It's unfortunate.
Oh, it's very unfortunate.
It is one of the rare cases. I'm not even sure if I want to call it rare. It's one of the cases where hip hop reflects society. Like, hip hop has done a relatively decent job of ignoring society to an extent. I think that even for a while, our artists weren't even talking about things that reflected in society. I mean, how, like, let's say 2004 to 2011. All right, what were artists really talking about? Money,
cars, liquor.
No, I mean, you still see that now.
Yeah.
I mean, adding pills, but you still see definitely see that now.
And syrup.
Yes, but there's other artists, and I don't want to just name Kendrick and Cole, but there are other artists like those that are more conscious that actually do have a platform to speak.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when it comes back to women, we don't see women execs like that. We don't see women hosts unless she's super sexy.
Yeah.
Do you think we can get to a point where we overcome that?
Yeah, because I could name a few females to look out for. Kiara, not only because she's a part of my company, she's definitely an innovative person. Mm-hmm. That's why she's even a part of the company, right? Mm-hmm. And that's interesting within itself, because there's this stigma that women can't work with each other.
Yeah.
So when they ask who's a part of the company and they see it's another female, it throws people very off. Well, when they see me and it's a female, it throws people off to begin with.
Yeah.
But when they see another female as a part of the company, they're like, wait, what? They're not arguing? They're not being catty? And it's like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
There's Gnosis. She's actually a rapper. I don't know if you heard of her. Mm-hmm. She's also a producer as well.
I heard of her through Upcoming Hip Hop.
Yeah, she's a producer as well. So that's innovative within itself, because you don't really see that many female producers.
Crystal Kane's another one.
Yeah?
Yeah, another female rapper and producer.
Nice. Yeah. I love it. Those are the people I could think of offhand. Mm-hmm. But you're right, there's not that many, because I don't bump into them. All right,
so talk to me. We're gonna use two keywords here that have definitely been prevalent and pushed to the forefront in 2015 and carried over into 2016 as well. But misogyny and homophobia in hip hop. Right?
Oh yes.
So,
yes.
As a woman,
yes.
How do you exist on knowing that misogyny and homophobia are basically staples in hip hop culture?
Now that you asked that, I want to give a shout out to Meek Jaffe. She actually has a show as well. Mm-hmm. And she does a lot of executive work as well. She's dope. And she's a female, and she's also part of the LGBT community as well. So automatically I thought of her. So shout out to her, and being a female. Right on. It's interesting. It's like, sometimes, to me, I wonder if this is industry that I even want to be promoting, because I know what they promote. I know what it is. I know I'm not stupid, but I also think there has to be certain people that are in certain point areas to change that. Okay. Right? So when you go to a I Spit NYC or this or that, and you have any kind of thoughts about females or gays or homosexuals or lesbians, you kind of have to either not do the show or figure out how to not perform that song automatically, because I'm both. We don't have time for all that, right? There's people who I've vowed to not work with because of certain things that I've seen on Facebook. You can't say you're supporting the I Spit movement or Banks, you mad dope, like, yo, blah, blah, blah. And then you turn around and I'm seeing a post about, yo, kill all fags or this, that. That's a lot. So, you know, at least on my end, I do the due diligence to not work with certain people, whatever. I mean, I can't police everybody. But it's definitely tough. It's definitely tough being a female first. It's definitely tough being a lesbian. It's definitely tough being a more tomboyish lesbian, because it's very in your face. It's not like I'm wearing a dress and a skirt and people are just like, oh, you know, whatever, we'll bypass it. It's very clear. I'm wearing my hat to the back. I'm calm. I'm relaxed or whatever. But one thing I don't really do is I don't utilize homosexuality as a thing, really.
Okay.
It's not like, hey, this is Elle Banks the Bossy, the lesbian girl who has a lot of money, house entertainment. People, I think, respect the brand for its brand, really. I don't even think people think that hard about it or that deep about it, but I would like to know what they think. That would be a nice dialogue.
Definitely, let's talk about it. You know, make sure you tweet. Tweet me, because, you know, she's not gonna be on Twitter like that. the real Wise, WIZE. There's definitely a Z in there.
I would love to know. Actually, that's actually a very interesting question.
So tweet us, Instagram, Facebook. Anyway, let us know, like, how any thoughts you have. We definitely.
I would love. Actually, yeah. Let's make that a thing. I would love to hear that.
Definitely. All right, so, you know, you mentioned your sexuality, so let's talk about it.
Sure.
You know, has that ever been has there ever been a time where you felt like, I don't want to do this, or you've second guessed yourself in hip hop because of your sexuality?
No, because I don't think about my sexuality like that. I really don't. I feel like I'm just not that person naturally. Like, you won't see me with like pride flags and beads. I'm not that girl. I know I'm a lesbian, but okay. That's not like my day-to-day thing. It's not like I'm walking around and say, hey, by the way, guys, I'm a lesbian, just letting you guys know. All right, cool, peace, man. No, that's not my thing. I like girls. And they're also very annoying. And that's a very normal part of my life. And that's it. I don't think about it. It's like second nature to me. But I do think about hip hop. I do think about pushing the culture forward, and I think it's gonna be a interesting journey looking back 10 years from now and being, I guess, a female and being openly a lesbian and doing some dope things for hip hop. Could you guys really hate gays like that if you're supporting certain things? Let's rethink and reevaluate our mind frame, guys.
Definitely, let's do that. I mean, when I look at hip hop, you know, it's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, and it's very stupid, really, because no one really has a reason on why they don't like a certain thing. It's just certain things that are instilled in them. And then when they meet me in person, it's not even a thing. When I tell you it's not a thing, it's amazing how much of not a thing it is. It's just not a thing. No one thinks about it. Nothing. Girls act a little weird sometimes. They end up liking me some way, somehow, and it's weird, ladies. That's awkward. All right? You guys are weirdos. I'm for Keke Palmer all day, every day. Understand and respect our relationship, okay? All right, ladies? Don't be disrespectful.
So you guys just heard the interview I did with Elle Banks the Bossy. Shout out to her for coming through. Super dope, super talented person, super talented woman, and that's something that we don't necessarily get a chance to see of too often in hip hop culture. But I will say this though, you know, Elle Banks got something coming for y'all. That hip hop retreat week Hashtag HHRW. It's going to be crazy. I know she got an I Spit NYC event coming up as well, too. But, yo, listen. Trust me when I tell y'all that Hip Hop Retreat Week is going to be kind of crazy. In any event, next up, we have our interview with Truth City. Truth City was a pretty dope interview as well. He came through. I've known Truth now for a little bit under a year. But this is now our second time, my fault, talking to him on mic. And, we spent a lot of time talking before we actually hit the mic, hit record or whatnot. So there's a lot of stuff that didn't get captured in the interview. But, in any event, rock out with us for this one. At Mr. Truth City, and of course for L Banks the Bossy at L Banks the Bossy, L Banks like DA Bossy. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So again, we're here with Truth City at Mr. Truth City on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we'll be right back. All right, folks, we'll be back. It's the Encore Radio Show, live here with Truth City. Make sure you guys follow Truth City on Twitter, Instagram, at Mr. Truth City. Website,
MrTruthCity.com.
Hey.
All my stuff is consistent, baby.
Keep it consistent.
Let's keep it
baby.
consistent.
There we go.
Make it easy for you.
All right, so you put out your debut project. That was 2014 now?
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Cool. Right? What was the overall concept for you? It's called a prologue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People know the definition of prologue. If you don't, go do your Googles, right? But obviously you named it that for a reason.
Yeah.
Right? What were you trying to give to people with this project?
You know, people don't like hip hop. For me, growing up was like rappers told their story. Like, like right now, you can probably tell me what block Nas grew up on. You can tell me, you know what I mean, where he got his favorite foods. You know what I mean, like, cause he would tell you what street he got his dollar pieces. You know what I mean, like, it was vivid. And I just feel like nowadays, man, rappers come out with the car, and I don't know how they got the car. Like, they just come in whipping the Ferrari. I'm like, what's the story? Can you start over? You know what I mean? Like, I want to know the story. So I felt like I'm in a position where I feel like it was my first project, and I have 200 records. Like, I have 200 records. I'm not even saying that as one of those rap guys that's just like, yo, I got 1 million songs. Like, no, I have records, like 200 records. So I really was about, like, it was so deep. I had some deep stuff on there about my mother, about a lot of things. And my boy and like my guy who I could just consider like a best friend, man, he was just like, nah, he was like, yo, you putting out too much. He was like, yo, leave something to the imagination. He was just, so we ended up calling it the prologue of just like the story before the story. I don't want to dive so much into the point where there's nothing for me to share, you know what I mean, anymore. So when I work on it, I just wanted people to take away, you know, the intro has my mother on it. You know, I'm saying I'm getting on this bus, I'm leaving, new day opens up, and it's the alarm clock goes off, and it's just like, boom, the bus ride in New York, gotta go out and get it. I mean, summertime, you know, gunshots at the cookout, blue and whites on the lookout. You know what I mean? Like, down bag in a tube sock, blowing L's after school out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tapping into these places that people can kind of just see what the block looks like, what's happening on the block. It's basically just a brief description. And that's all I wanted the album to be. Like, I want you to walk away from it and being able to tell me what you took away from it. Oh, I can see he's a little like this. I can see he's like this. But I don't have enough to formulate my opinion, which is perfect. Leaves me room to grow. So I just wanted it to be kind of a glimpse of who I am, just a little bit. That's all.
All right, so it had 8, but it still had 18 songs in it, though, right?
16. Don't be exaggerating.
yo.
Why is his attention span is so bad? He thought there was 18.
Listen,
songs,
anything over.
I'll give you that though. It was kind of long.
Anything over, honestly, like 13, like 12, 13,
now.
12, 13. Outside of that, I'm like,
man, Views was like a Views album had like.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, Views had 20 fucking songs on it. I listened to that motherfucker once.
Yeah, but yo, as soon as you get the chance.
No, I listened to it one time. So let me set a little premise here. For me, my goal, the goal of the Encore Radio Show and me as a person is to find the next talent.
Facts.
I don't really give a flying fuck what the fuck is happening on mainstream, but I also have to have one ear to that as well, so that I know what to look for at the same time.
I feel
you know what I mean? So I had to give it one full spin.
Okay.
That's all I needed to give it. I could tell you how I really felt about it. It ain't gonna be good, but I can tell you how I really felt about it.
We can get into
you
that
understand?
later.
But there's 20 songs on there, and that was the longest 2 hours and change that I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Facts.
And I have had some long 2 hours. You understand? So I the one thing I like about projects, and especially the length now, is that you give me 12 and 13 songs. You give me 12 or 13 songs. Like you said, you had 200 records. Mm-hmm. You could pull 12 of the best songs out of 12. Like if you say you want to record a project, you got 200 songs that you recorded. You can find your best 12 and put that on a project and just throw away the rest. Or you put them to the side, and maybe another time, you reuse a flow that you use there, or find inspiration from yourself.
What it is,
But 12, 20, my nigga, 20. that was more. I'm gonna tell you right now, that was more business, because we have streams now.
Yeah.
The more streams you get, faster you get the platinum. He wanted to be platinum, so that's what that was. But we not getting on that. We ain't talking about motherfucking Drake. We talking about Truth City right now.
For next.
At Mr. Truth City, Twitter, Instagram, www.mrtruthcity.com. That's where we at right now. So the prologue, right? What do you feel was the feedback? Like, what feedback did you get from it? Give me the best feedback and the worst feedback you got.
Well, I mean, I'll just start with the worst. The only thing, and I literally was scouring everywhere that I could think of, and there were people that were just playing for people's stuff, not telling them they knew me. I mean, so I had people out here just kind of giving me real feedback, and I mean, just the worst was just there was just a couple Cole comparisons, Kendrick comparisons. Okay. I mean, to me, that was just okay, great. I mean, I can work with that. And then just the best was just I wasn't expecting this. That was the first one, because obviously everybody's yo, listen to this rapper. Everybody's yeah. But I think you can just look at the cover, you know what I mean, and see that I wasn't fucking playing. You know what I mean? The cover was illustrated by somebody in the Ukraine, and we spent 3 months on the cover. You know what I mean? I'm talking about me throwing it back, no, you gotta change this, no, the street gotta look like this, so just by the cover. And IS was saying that last time we were on the show, she was the cover just got her, and from that, and then you press play and you just hear piano, you know what I mean, so automatically I didn't have to do much, you know what I mean, but just showcase the art. So the best feedback was just people saying they weren't expecting it, there were records that they added to their day, you know what I mean. That's something that I enjoy, because I started to become part of people's day. And I guess the last best was just somebody was saying it's something that you can pop in at any time, and it's the same feel. And that's exactly what I was going for. Somebody was yo, I ain't listened to it in a while, and then I just popped it in, and I was just cleaning my room to it. You know what I mean? So that's a good feeling, man.
All right, so
but it's not enough.
Fair.
It's not enough.
So you said Spotify. You on Spotify?
I'm on Spotify, Pandora. I'm on Tidal. I'm on Apple Music. I'm wherever you can get a play button. Gotta be there.
Thank you. At this point, how important to you is streaming, or how important is streaming to be to your career?
Streaming has opened the door for us as artists to compete in a way we couldn't have before. And shout out to all of the the independent artists who stuck to their guns, you know what I mean, and really built not only an internet following but a cult following in itself, and opened this gate that they had to pass. It's they had to pass a bill almost. You know what I mean? They couldn't ignore it. We're YouTube, you owe us. You know what I mean? SoundCloud, you owe us. We're bringing millions, almost maybe billions at this point.
200 million monthly subscribers on SoundCloud.
To your place, and what are we getting? Nothing. Yeah. Give us something. You know what I mean? So streaming right now has opened a gateway for not only for me to be discovered, across any platform or any country, whatever. Like, I'm thankful for that, but it's giving us as independent artists a way to maintain a lifestyle to continue to do this, and then at the same time giving us a chance to fight. You know what I'm saying? I know I might not like be compared to like a Lil Yachty or Young Thug's following, but I was like, yo, you just gave me an extra little piece of, you know, bullet that I could fire, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna aim correct, you know what I mean? So that's all. Like, I know I have a very long way to go. There's no finish lines around here, but like, I just know that I have a fighting chance now, and I think I'm just so excited for all of us, you know what I mean, to be able to utilize this to our advantage.
Well, I want to put my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, sure.
Just on one thing that you said real quick. You said there's no finish lines around here.
No finish
right?
lines.
See, I believe in that to an extent, right? I do believe in seeing the goal and running towards it, and it being okay that the finish line continue to move. At the same time now, I believe that you also need to implement shorter goals and run through those finish lines at the same time, because if you don't, you're always going to feel like you're running and not getting the feeling, that good feeling that actually running through that ticker tape at the finish line gives you understand? So, all right, so let's say you're running a mile or whatever, you're on the track or whatever it is, give me you get a little finish line at 40, finish line at 100, finish line at 200, the smaller goals, it makes it easier to get to get to that long reaching goal of whatever it is, however you see it, however you deem as success. To get that, you have to have those little ones. Otherwise, it can be that it can become 900-pound gorilla running on your back as you're running towards that goal at the same time.
I mean, I guess we just agree to disagree. I'm like seriously, like and this is my mother. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, Ma, I got an A today. She was like, okay, what you want? You know what I mean? Like, okay. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So A for me just started to just become like, did the paper study. All right, she give me the paper. I just put it in the folder. You know what I mean? I know. You know what I mean? I know I got the A. I knew it before she handed it to me. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, I'm just at that point in my mind right now where it's like, I set the goal wise. I set the goal. I'm trying to knock it out the fucking park. You know what I mean? I set the goal. I was like, yo, I want 75 people to come to the Bushwick Public House. That's my goal. 113 came. And then my mouth was like, ain't no finish lines around here, bro. Like, next show we want 150, and I'm trying to go harder than that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm putting the energy out there because it's like there's no I don't have time to like celebrate. Like, my boy hit me and he just told me some good news about something. I'm just like, yeah, that's dope. Well, what are we doing after that though? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because if I set that one goal, right, and then I hit the goal, and I got to take a whole bunch of time now to set the new one. No, I done set 3, 4, and then as I hit that first one, I set up one behind the other two. You know what I mean? And I just keep moving. I'm very happy. You know what I'm saying? But like, I wake up happy, so that's just a given. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, bet. Fair enough. So, with the prologue, you've done something that a lot of artists, especially in this day and age right now, they find it harder to do. You've waited. You didn't put out, you didn't put out the project, let it run for 6 months and then put out another project, even if it's whether it's short, long, whatever. You didn't put out any mixtapes. You say you put out 2 singles. How do you think that translates? I mean, I believe that there's 2 crowds that artists now have to cater to. The digital crowd and the physical crowd. Like, the physical crowd, the groundwork that you do is incredibly important. The digital crowd is also incredibly important because, like, you could be on SoundCloud and people that see you physically at a show can go and find yourself online, but are you connected to the online community? Yes or no? So how have you been able to balance satisfying both the physical and digital, like other artists? Your crowds are still, like you just said, you had a goal 75, you got 113. How have you been able to grow that market without putting out anything else in 2016?
Well, I mean, honestly, guys, like if you're listening right now, like we can't sit here and pretend that like the internet it's not a real place. I'm gonna just keep that 100.
It's not, but people live there.
Yeah, I know people live there. People are programmed to it. I get it, but for me, it's not real. You're not following me because like I'm, you know what I mean? I'm the damn Daniel guy. You know what I mean? Like you're not. You know what I mean? Like you're following me because I might have put out a song or you might have heard some music and you're just curious to watch the journey maybe, and you hope for the best and you just clapping as I go. Like that's great. But at the end of the day, like I'm doing this for a bigger reason other than feeding music to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeding you an example. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like if I put out this album, okay, the album's great, but now you're watching me go from like, and we're talking about when I had small dreads. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about when like I was just in dirty t-shirts and sweats running around New York City at every open mic. Like you're watching me film it. I did vlogs on my iPhone, but edited them with iMovie. You know what I'm saying? Like you're watching my development. Yeah. Based off just this one soundtrack I gave you for all of this grind that you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? And it's bigger. I'm on the Instagrams, I'm on the YouTubes, I'm on all of these things. So for me, I don't have to put out just music. I'm putting out what the music is doing for my career. Yeah. You have to be able to see that too. People saw me at the Art Genesis Cypher. They watched the verse. You know what I mean? Like I gave them the content. Yeah. How was I able to be on this show? How was I able to get that opportunity from this album? So for any artist listening, like, yo, we make music. I get that. You know what I mean? But I'm not a musician. I'm not a rapper. You know what I mean? Like I'm a motivator. I'm a creative. You know what I'm saying? Like in all aspects of the word. So don't limit my creativity to just like, yo, you got to put out another album. I heard these 5 songs. They're dope. Cool, now give me 5 more. Like I'm not a fucking store. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't just come like to my store and just like grab shit off the shelf and I restock it. Like no, you go home and you drink that milk slow, motherfucker. Like because time went into this milk and this wine that I'm giving you. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm giving you the champagne. Enjoy it, sip slow, baby. You know what I mean? Like yo, man, like yo, Wise, man, like I'm in a good place, bro. Like I'm hungry.
I can hear it in your voice,
and I'm just happy, man. For
I can see it in your body language.
Yo, I'm happy for the city. I'm happy for my brothers. I'm happy for you, watching you win. Like IS, like SoundKid, like yo. I want everybody out there that's listening, yo. Please post your wins, yo. Post those wins. Stop posting your L's. You know what I'm saying? Like take your L's. But admire your wins. Go out here, win, post it. Yo, all of my graduates out there, man, who just graduated, yo, post those pictures proud. You get what I'm saying? Like, post them 10, 17, you know what I mean? Like, show people, like, you win. And then I want you to go out there, grab the job that you wanted in your life or create a job, you know what I mean? And then I want you to post you in front of the building when there's trash in it and there's nothing in it. Post it. Yeah. Post the dreams, man. And like that's what I want everybody to say. Like, so just the answer to the question is like, you know, it's not really just about you engulfing my music. I want you to engulf what I'm trying to fucking tell you by living the example of the music. You know what I'm saying?
So that was my interview with Truth City. Again, shout out to Truth City for coming through at Mr. Truth City, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, MrTruthCity.com. Shout out to just a fire, just amazing dude, very motivational. Virginia got some talent out there. He's a Virginia import. If y'all didn't know, he's been in New York for about 6 years now, really putting some stuff out. The prologue out about a year and change ago now. He got a new mixtape. Y'all gotta hear it. Y'all have to hear his full interview because he does actually announce the full mixtape that's coming out in August, I believe he said. But yeah, talented dude. Up next, we got Word of Mouth Radio. This was a super dope interview for me as well because it was good to actually sit down with some of my media peers and chat about the things that I see and that we see and their goals and their aspirations and what they're looking for from the city and for the city. So in any event, make sure you guys check them out. Word of Mouth Radio every Wednesday starting at 7 p.m. Make sure you guys stay locked in for that. So here comes the interview right now, starting off with Taki.
a lot of artists is hard because they don't really have the guidance to know how to roll out with a project. Like a project will come, they need more managers. Like a project will come out and it's be here today, gone tomorrow, and it's not that the project wasn't fire. It's because there was no anticipation built for the project. There was no culture built behind the project. It's crazy to use Straight Busy as an example again, but we got the cover for 50 First Dates 4 months before we got the project. And so everything else after that was setting us up for that project. Then when his computer crashed, everybody's like, oh shit, what is he going to do now?
That
everybody
was the greatest story.
Right. Everybody was so
he
invested.
He literally recorded an entire mixtape in a day.
You feel what I'm saying? Everybody was so invested in the story that was 50 First Dates that when it came out, they're like, oh shit, I have to listen. People don't do that no more.
I was refreshing the link like, Trey, it's not working. You know what I'm saying? Trey.
People will drop a project. They'll drop a project on Monday, and they just started promoting it last Thursday.
And then wonder why nobody.
And then
New York don't support nobody. I don't
Everybody
know you.
Everybody think they Beyonce.
Right. Everybody thinks they can just drop a project and
lemonade is not valid.
Yo, son, Twitter.
Your lemonade is not valid.
Tweetable.
That was good, Q.
That was good.
What happens when you don't Trevor say this shit on our show? He say mad good shit on everybody else's show. It pisses me off. Then on our show, it'd be like,
no, but yeah, artists I think they need to do a lot more research and education. They need to do more education on the business aspect of the music industry because,
find someone who does.
Right? Because if you want to think about it, based on what I've known and what I've learned. The music industry is 90% business, 10% music. Yeah. The music is the easy. You're an artist. You can get in the studio any given time.
It's not your job to be a manager, to be honest. Artists aren't supposed to be in the boardroom. They're supposed to be. I mean, if you have the mindset to, but it's
artists and managers don't view the industry the same way
at all.
To be creative and to do business, it's
well, your emotions are connected to it. Right. You know, you're not really focused on the business unless you've really studied and come and groomed through the years.
Right. Real talk. But it's tricky, man. It's tricky, and it's crazy because it took until our interview with Elliott Wilson for me to sit and go, it's a lot bigger than rap. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, okay, cool, y'all got all these underground New York rappers, and I'm not shitting on them, but it's like, where's the Drake level dude from New York? Where's the Wale level dude from New York? Where's the Big Sean level dude from New York? And it's like, damn, we don't have that.
That stumbled me too. I'm like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I sit back and think about that all the time. Like, damn, we really don't got one of those yet. It's not.
And the crazy thing is that A$AP Rocky could be viewed as one of two people, or Joey, but people discount him, and I don't know why.
You know,
it's not true. I think because it's not traditional.
It's not our sound.
New York. It's like, for example, Davies.
We'll see. The thing about it. We'll see. Can I just answer? Let me just answer.
Yeah, you answer, please.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For me personally, I put emphasis and I put direct responsibility on the artist. Most of these artists don't know who they are. They do not have a target market.
Very true.
Everyone sounds the same, and that tries, and that's the basic foundation of your music. That's your story. We fell in love with Jay-Z because of his story. Like everybody from Brooklyn or people from New York can relate to his hunger, his struggle, his hustle. We fell in love with Biggie because we know some people knew what it was like to go hungry and not be able to feed your daughter. Right? There was a story connected to you. People just come out like I'm the hottest nigga out, and then it's like, okay, you a hot nigga. That was a hot song. Now what? Now we're waiting. We're not invested in the story, right? And Rick Ross came at a standstill because he came out as, I'm the hottest nigga that you've seen thus far. Okay, cool. But we don't really know you. You lied to us about your story. So then his last album, which was supposed to be like his pivotal moment, was just like, we've heard this before. Right. So now, and like artists like Meek Mill, we knew the struggle, kinda. He kind of came out with the same identity, but now it's like you're at a standstill. So there has to be a point of evolution. We should feel like we're growing with you. Yeah, like absolutely. J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick, we've grown with them. If you stayed with them from when they first came out, even Wiz Khalifa, who people try to play, but like in the college circuit, if you remember, if you were with Wiz from the beginning, you remember like who he was Converse, Chuck Taylor. Like
problem with Meek. Like I say this all the time. Like I just haven't seen any growth, but that's another story.
I feel like the only artist who grew, and we still don't know who the fuck he really is Fab.
Well, that's the thing, right? So Fab is this is the thing. Fab has still not reached that crossover tier. As much as I've said, I love Fab. He's one of my favorite rappers. But he's a surface level person because he will only allow you to get but so close. Fab will not get personal, and we've seen that.
My heart.
But everybody's not meant for that because Fab tried to usher new niggas and people like, oh, Fab don't put nobody on. He tried with 1 or 2 niggas and it didn't work. So he's never been that nigga to put somebody else on because he hasn't gotten to that level. Right. So you can't look to people to do what they haven't already done. So my thing with underground artists is, And I always challenge them when they have a project out. I'm like, okay, that song is cool, but who are you? Well, I'm this nigga. I get money. I get bitches. So does every other nigga in New York.
That nigga said that just now.
So
5 minutes ago.
He don't even rap.
Who are you? And it has to be more than just surface level. To me, to want to buy your music, I have to buy into you as a person.
It has to be believable.
I mean, we're invested in Beyonce. I was raised with Beyonce. I've watched her. That's why people don't understand like the magnitude of her growth. Michael Jackson was a superstar because people know him since they were 9 years old. Right? There's a story there. And underground artists in New York, there was a time where we knew everybody. Like Cam. We knew who Cam was. Like we watched Cam come up. Right. You watched Nas. You knew Nas's lazy ass. You knew his story, right? You knew everybody, and they weren't all focused on sounding the same. Like Nas, there was never a time where I could hear a Nas record and think, is that Jay-Z? No, I knew it was Nas. Right. I knew Ja Rule was Ja Rule. I knew 50 was 50. I knew who DMX was. I knew who the Lox was. I knew Styles P. I knew Jada when I heard him. Like everyone sounded different. New York sounds exactly the same. Right. Even though we're a melting pot, we're eclectic in a sense where there's not just one person here. We shouldn't all be congealed and sound the same way. I listen to a mixtape now, I be like, who that? That's who? Y'all are not from Houston. I'm tired of y'all diddy bopping and all that.
Everybody want to be Uzi Vert.
Listen,
I hate it so much. And
I love y'all, and it works for some people. Now, don't get me wrong, it works for some people. Some people can naturally do it because they know how to formulate songs. Right. But everybody else sounds the same. So why do I have to sit through a showcase of 72 niggas for 8 hours and hear the same? It sounds like one cohesive song. It just hasn't stopped.
All right, so question then. Do you think it takes people like us, right, to criticize them the way that they need to be, or also
yes and no? I'm sorry.
Also like help them evolve. For example, like okay, like yo, I think you're a dope artist. You should work with this producer. Like he or she will make you sound,
Yes and no, because it's like, all right, boom. Let's say we have artist A comes up to you and they're like, okay, so what should I do next? As someone with that type of insight, I can point them in the right direction, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna take my advice or whatever. But
they should.
And it's not, but it's not my job to tell you who to be.
Right.
Like
that too.
We could, and people understand. I had this conversation earlier. I said like, sometimes I appreciate people respecting my opinion, and like I understand what other like people like Angie Marr. I can imagine how they felt when people always want to pick your brain, like, yo, I'm at a standstill, nigga. I'm at a standstill too because I'm hearing all of y'all, and there's 60 of y'all, and I'm trying to figure out where everybody's supposed to go. Yeah. That's exhausting. And live life first. And I was gonna say the point to like dropping a project, more than one project a year. Yeah. Don't do that because you didn't go through that much metamorphosis in this as an artist. I know you did it because you were too busy working on that project to drop it. You haven't gone through any part of life.
Anything between the two.
Go live first before you drop. Artists used to wait 4 or 5 years before they dropped the project. Like Janet Jackson only has like 5 projects.
But social media changed that though.
It did.
It does, but that's the problem. Change it back.
Not even change it back. It's learn how
make
to
people wait.
Learn how to work with it.
Make people wait.
Just because you can buy recording equipment and buy Pro Tools and record a song, record a whole mixtape in 24 hours, don't mean you should put it out in
But if your identity is that strong enough, people will wait because they'll want to hear what's happening next with you. Right. And you don't have to worry about constantly feeding the masses because you can be on a million features. Trey Pizzy did like 27 features his like the year of the Truman Show, and he rocked with the Truman Show for a long time in mixtape world. And I was like, why you not see what the formula is? If I was an artist, I'd be collabing with that little whack nigga from Brooklyn, that nigga who you say was trash, that nigga, because I'm taking every one of his 6 fans, and they're all gonna be on my back now. Thank you.
To touch back on what you said though about us being media personalities and being publications ourselves, I think a lot of what and this is something that I struggle with right now, is like people always assume that what I say, I'm trying to push it over as law. Like, no, if I say I don't like somebody, it's because I'm not feeling it. And now a lot of people have a really hard time, believe it or not, saying, yo, I don't like this, or this isn't for me. You don't necessarily have to bash it, but you can say, yo, this ain't for me.
I won't say nothing.
If
I don't like it, I won't say nothing. But that's how you know I don't like it. That's my way of saying I didn't like this.
But see, some people like to ask. They like to pick, like, yo, you don't like it? Why you don't like it? Okay, I'll tell you why, and I'm good at articulating why.
But see, Taki don't like Chance the Rapper, so fuck him.
It's not that I don't like him. It's just not for me. And I can. And people don't really understand that. It's okay to say, yo, it's not for me. It's not my thing. Yeah. If y'all like it, y'all rock out to that shit. Y'all love it as much. And it'd be fucked up if I was to say, yo, don't download that album. Yeah. I'm not gonna do that. If you like it, go get that Chance the Rapper. That's for you. Go ahead, do your thing.
I went to to talk about. Like a lot of the artists are younger. Like right now, I'm 27 years old. So
Old
You
nigga.
an old biddy.
I'm an old nigga, whatever. But we have to understand like a lot of the,
Why I said all
a
right.
lot of the young artists coming up now are probably like 21, 22.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they grew up in the snap era.
Yep.
Where it was,
Yeah.
it grew up where the beat pretty much. The beat and the hook were pretty much the main
Everything,
factor of the
right.
song.
Yeah.
We grew up on the lyrics, and so and where they grew up was the beat and the hook. So
They still
obviously
had
they're
hope,
gonna
though.
try to, but you.
I know. I get what you're saying.
It wasn't the same
I know it
hoe.
wasn't the same hoe.
So, like-
Hoe tried to make us stop wearing Timbs. Fuck
That's
out
what-
of here.
exactly. That's what he was
Oh,
saying.
wanted us to stop
He
selling
was like,
crack.
wearing
Like,
Timbs. We like, nigga, that's how you got here.
So we have to realize like that's what they grew up on. Like when as a DJ, I play what I like, and that's what people gravitate towards me for. Yeah, whatever. Okay.
It's like people.
That's what they're gonna. That's what they're gonna try to emulate.
Right.
That's
So,
why I
and,
wasn't
like-
mad at Designer because he's only 18.
19, but still like Little Uzi Vert. Did you see that interview on Hot 97 when they asked him to freestyle?
And he said, "Nah, I
Oh,
can't.
yeah,
I can't
yeah.
freestyle to that. That's
Exactly,
too
but,
old."
Like if somebody like in our era would have like, oh, get this
It'd have
fuck
been
out
over.
of here.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
for his era, he said he's like, my fans not gonna be mad at me for this, and then it's true. Because like that's not what they fans for him for. It's like they want to hear him turn up. They want to see what that beat gonna hit.
And that's the conversation I had with you when you were like, you were mad at Drake about not taking like a political stance. I'm like, we've never heard Drake do that, so why would he do that now? But he's not going to because that's not who he is.
Absolutely. For making what they grew up on and what connects to them the most.
Because now all of our old generation is sampling all 80s music.
Yeah, so
there's 80s samples everywhere and 90s
far as-
samples.
90 samples,
As far as artists, you're gonna gravitate to what makes you work and what you're comfortable with. And like rap now, we in any genre, we gonna there's a different type of artist in rap for anything you like. So like back in the days, there was only one type of artist. Everybody want to rap this well, but like now you can listen to rap for any type of thing that you like.
And it's crazy. Breeze Montana, he had hit me up today and said that he's like, yo, rap is like it's like Baskin Robbins. There's 31 different places.
There's
so
subgenres.
many
I've said
different
that a long
Yeah,
time
you
ago.
did.
I
You
wrote
did.
an article about that.
There's subgenres to it, and it's like, you know what? I may like strawberry ice cream, but that motherfucker don't like strawberry, and that's cool. That's fine. And I think that's what we need to get as a hip hop culture. We need to understand, yo, there's subcultures. It may be for you, but it's not for him, and that's perfectly fine.
But you know what? We're all so passionate about hip hop because we
That
were born
too.
with it. It's like
Yeah.
our
Right.
baby. Like we created it, so it's like we're so protective. It's like
Everybody
no,
feel like it's
everybody
their
they have a piece of it. So
Right.
we're all like so protective of like the change and metaphor versus we don't want to see the transition. And then now the old heads have to be. They know like okay, nah, I can't listen to that new stuff because it's not for me no more.
And I said that it's like I feel like the reason why Dave East is getting so much respect from these old heads is because he's not rapping like a buffoon.
He sounds like old. He sounds like old
them.
hip hop.
He sounds like old hip hop. He sounds like the hip hop they know and they
can
understand.
connect to.
They can connect to it. So they say, yeah, I'm gonna make a record with Dave East.
Yeah.
Styles P ain't making no record with Lil Uzi. Hell
No,
no,
they have
they're
nothing in
not doing
common.
that.
They don't know what to talk
I'm
about.
saying? They got nothing to talk about.
Lil Uzi might rap about the trap, but
Styles
not the
people,
same
but
trap.
Styles people like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga?
Right. But it's different. Dave East is like I like that record that he had that guy with Game and
Yeah, I love that
love it.
Game.
And I said,
That-
you know what I
that
love about
track,
it?
sorry.
They're just rapping. There's no silly animated voices.
No
there's
gimmicks, pretty
there's no
much.
gimmicks with it.
Gimmicks.
I'm just rapping. It's this beat. It's me and my nigga. We got these bars and we gonna give y'all these bars.
And they two
Exactly.
cute niggas on the track too. It's lit.
Comment on that.
Yeah.
It's fucking
But
lit. Dave know.
Game made 400 bars.
Jason.
you see what I'm saying?
That's some New York shit. Like for real, like I respect Davies a lot for the fact that he never changed up and tried to be like emulate anybody else.
Nah, he didn't.
He stayed to what was true to him, and it worked for him.
It's crazy to like
You know?
like I'm like I be on TV like I see him on TV I'm like I know that nigga like I know him in real life like that's crazy but it's like it's cool that we're now like a part of this new upcoming generation to see everybody that we're watching. I'm like, well, this is like how Angie must have felt watching Pac and like Hov and coming up with them. And I don't compare me to Angie. I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't like it. Trey does it all the time. I'd be like, stop it. But it's like I see what's happening. It's like I hope I don't get pregnant between here and now because I want to still be here. Like
No. It's 2016. You could still.
I'm Spanish. It's hard. I be trying to move right out here, but
If somebody sneeze on her, it's over.
it's over. I'm trying to tell y'all niggas, got out of my life.
If you got a cold, move out the way.
I be doing cartwheels to get away. I'm like, no, nigga, no.
It's crazy that you bring that up because I think all the time it's like with New York City radio, there needs to be new personalities on the radio.
Especially when personalities are beefing with people in the podcast world.
Right.
This is weird.
We're not even talking about that.
This
But
is weird.
my thing is
Not even that. No, it's more than just who are we. The obvious. There's a lot of people going back and forth. It's like, why? Well, do your job.
Right.
Just do your job.
It's like the same way she just said. Angie watched Hove come up. Angie watched all these niggas. We're watching the next generation come up.
Yes,
why aren't we reporting it? Right.
Yeah.
Why aren't we talking about it? Why aren't we the ones on the mainstream radio talking about it? We're here with them.
Yeah. But you know what though? Nah, they had their own medium, which was radio. We have our own medium now. We have online. We have online radio. We have we have podcasts. We have blogs. They have none of that stuff. Like, they literally only had the newspaper
and the radio. Yeah.
And you guys got to think about it like this. I had to tell myself this the other day. That's their job. Yeah. So if we come up, they're out of a job. That's a check out they.
Well, that and you had to pay your dues. I feel like now our generation, we got everything so fast. Our parents gave us everything so fast. We want instant gratification. A nigga start rapping last week and be like, I should have been on a Summer Jam stage. Nobody knows you for what? We get people like that all the time. Yo, I should come on Word of Mouth Radio to talk about what? Like what? Like I love y'all to death. I said no. You know what I told him? I said yeah, we'll do that. Send us music. Send me the music first, because that's what it should really be about. I didn't see Party Next Door's face until 4 years later. I heard the music first. Let people fall in love with your music, and I promise they will guarantee love you. Some of y'all don't need to speak. Like Beyonce stopped speaking, and it was the best thing she did for her life, because she was like, when she was younger, she was so hood. And I was like, stop talking.
He was at H-Town.
She was so good. I was like, she didn't get her GD yet. It's a problem. But then also Michael Jackson said it too. You don't have to give it to them all at once.
Right.
You ever remember when Michael used to pop up from the floor and just stand there for like 6 minutes? And they would people would lose their fucking mind because it's just, you got to make them want more. Always leave them wanting more and anticipate. Absolutely. And that's what our generation doesn't understand. We want instant gratification. We want it right now. I want to see it. But they don't know how to work for nothing, because we never had to work for nothing. It was always done for us.
Not only that, a lot of people aren't built to wait for it.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people aren't built for that wait. Like Puff said it in the beginning of
You know what Puffy had to do?
You know what I'm saying? Like in the beginning of Mastermind, and Nobody, the Nobody record, Rick Ross and French, Puff, that whole Puff rant, where he was like niggas don't understand what it's like to be in the dark. They don't want to be in the dark where they don't know when the light gonna come. A lot of people are not built for waiting
because they don't know that life. They don't know that struggle.
You know, honestly, the hardest thing I've done some things. The hardest thing I've ever had to do was be an entrepreneur. The hardest thing. The amount of L's you take before you get one W.
Yeah.
It's different.
Nobody understands. People don't understand that. Our generation doesn't understand that. They like instant money, fast cash. Like, oh, girls being strippers now. I'm like, yeah, that's instant money. That's not their last resort. Nope. That wasn't a last resort for everybody. It's a quick way for a fast life, but it's like, you have to resort to all that just for fast money, and then whatever comes into your life fast leaves just as fast.
Medea said that. I remember Medea talking.
That's just proven life. And I'm not knocking nobody for doing what they got to do. Everybody has their story. Everybody has to do their own sacrifices. But our generation, anybody born after 1988 is really late. We've been really spoiled. We didn't have to endure anything.
Best year ever.
We didn't have to endure anything. We didn't endure slavery. We didn't endure. And y'all think this shit is what we're going through now? This shit is nothing compared to what our generation had to do and go through. Like, and that's when I look at the hip hop industry, I'm like, y'all owe y'all owe a lot of people to be at this point, and y'all complain about publications not talking about you. Nigga, you don't know your name. You're like, you ain't even considered. Like, our generation of black kids they're so spoiled and they're so ungrateful to the people that paved the way.
And this is why I think, like, you know, everybody complains, like, she was saying, I'm rolling up for her, like, publications not talking about you. Start your own publications.
That's what niggas that's what we had to do.
You know, like, why not? Like, Word of Mouth Radio, like,
you spend $40 a week on Bud, contribute. All you and your niggas contribute that to a savings fund and a business account. There you go. Or Jordan, or the Yeezys. Y'all spend $350 on Yeezys, but you still live in your mother's crib.
So then you can own everything, and then you like whatever you think needs promotion or anything like that needs attention. You can show love to that.
But I'm sorry, I gotta say it. Gotta be said. I'm saying it all year. Some of y'all only got a couple months left.
Oh yeah, that's fact.
Like cut it, like it's over.
Shit,
like cut it out. Like it's over. Because it's the struggle SoundCloud rappers that come on Twitter and have an attitude because y'all think people don't support you. We don't like the music, and it's okay. It's okay. Find a good family. You might be a great engineer. You might be a great audio tech. You might be Key Grip. Go to Hollywood. You never know. That nigga gets a check. You might be a great juror number 8. Like at the end of the day, this right. Like everybody's not gonna make it.
Right.
Yeah. That's
You know what I think a lot
Banks
of it
said
is?
it first. Out of every 70 rappers, 69 flop.
Yeah.
Right.
Very true.
What are you gonna do to be number one? Like,
And it's
everybody-
great to
right
chase.
now-
It's great to chase your dream. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
nothing when we're chasing your dream, but when it comes to a time where it's just people will tell you before you need to be realizing it yourself. Maybe I'm exhausting all opportunities here, and there's talent I'm ignoring somewhere else.
Yeah,
Right.
I will definitely say this before we go to break. Diversify your skill sets.
Absolutely.
100%.
Nah,
I know how to do
Bars.
so many
Wu-Tang
things.
said
And
first.
before we go to break, plan long term.
Yeah.
Right, not for tomorrow.
Because everybody wants the instant gratification, they don't think about how, okay, boom, I could do this month or the next couple months, but next year, next season, I'm gonna have to do something different. Nobody thinks that far ahead no more.
Or they don't take into account
Or they don't-
resume
right.
building. Build your
Right.
resume.
Like you gotta think long term, especially in this industry.
But all y'all got kids and shit. Y'all better think long
Crazy
term.
thing about it is summer's coming. I'm not planning for summer no more. I'm planning for winter.
I'm planning
I'm
for
planning
next spring.
You feel what I'm
Yup,
saying?
yup.
I'm not planning for summer no more. Summer's over to me. Summer didn't start, but it's over to me. I already
Yep.
know what I'm doing this summer.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the fall. I'm waiting for winter.
Bang, bang.
Nobody plans long term no more, and that will fuck you up.
Because they got safety nets.
Exactly.
Fuck is he talking about Chief Keef?
Yo, don't get me started. That's my all time favorite intro.
Let him go to break. Let him go to
Let's
break.
go to break. Before I get started.
Fraud niggas.
All right,
Y'all
folks,
niggas.
it's the Encore. Should be right back.
All right, folks, and that's the end of the show. We want to thank you guys for locking into the Encore Radio Show podcast. This is the abridged version, Volume 2, Episode 2. However, we're going to roll with this. Make sure you guys, go and check out the full episode. Again, shout out to Word of Mouth Radio. Shout out to L Banks, the Bossy. Shout out to Truth City. Mr. Truth City. We have some pretty dope ideas coming up, I'm thinking about doing a little mix cast to keep y'all updated with some of the new music that some of the artists we've had on the show have put out since we brought them on. Best thing about having interviews being timeless is the fact that, when an artist puts out his or her music, matter of fact, when an artist puts out his or her music, and it's correlated to something that they said in the interview, you could just kind of throw that together, a little quick half-an-hour podcast, mixcast, whatever you want to call it, and roll from there. So in any event, follow me, Wise Soul, at The Real Wise, WIZE. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all that good stuff. Follow the Encore Radio Show at Encore Radio Show across the board. All social media is at Encore Radio Show. And of course, shout out to Indie Creative Network, where we're elevating urban voices across communities across the world. Follow them. Follow the network at Indie Creative NW, and that's Twitter and Instagram. Facebook is Indie Creative Network. The website, of course, is also indiecreativenetwork.com. And we out.